Nutrition is complete balanced nutrition. Together, we provide nutrients to support immune, muscle, bone, and heart health.
Yay! Ensure with 25 vitamins and minerals, and Ensure Complete with 30 grams of protein.
After Advil.
Back to work.
What about your neck?
It's good to go.
Before Advil. Advil Dual Action fights pain 2 ways. Advil targets pain at the source. Acetaminophen blocks pain signals. Advil Dual Action.
I absolutely love it.
Tomorrow on ET, one-on-one with Janet Jackson.
I wish I had 2 more babies.
Only we're backstage at Madison Square Garden getting an inside look at her tour wardrobe. Make sure you check that out. All right, well, we have one more thing to show you before we go. Have a great night, everyone. Bye from Madame Tussauds, New York in Times Square. Jennifer Gardner.
Happening now. An updated look at radar, where the showers are, where they're headed to, along with an active pattern. And what day in particular stands out to be the rainiest in just a bit.
The number of gun-related incidents involving children appears to be on an upward trend, and facilities like the Children's Bereavement Center experiencing an all-time high in clients. The aftermath of shootings and the effect it has on children. Up next.
A shooting survivor from that mass shooting in Allen, Texas. We hear his words from the hospital bed. Plus, just how long that shooter may have been planning the attack. The News at 5 starts right now. First at 5, a gloomy wet day in the Alamo City.
The question right now on all of our minds, how much more rain can we expect the rest of the day and beyond? Here's Adam.
Well, let's put it this way. If you missed out on most of the rain over the last 24 hours, don't worry. You've got another opportunity, and it looks very promising for some drought denting and even some drought busting rain for some folks. You look at the radar right now, we've got widespread activity around parts of Bexar County and especially into Bernie, Bandera County, and Medina County. We've got the heavier showers and even a little bit of lightning and thunder. Nothing severe here, but this line from roughly Castroville southward into Divine down toward Pearsall, that's headed off to the east northeast. And these are moving a little bit quicker than what we had last night and earlier this morning. But of course, the track has been rather erratic for a lot of these throughout the day today, just because of the erratic steering flow. Nonetheless, that downpour with a little bit of lightning and thunder making it to Natalia at 5:05, so obviously momentarily. City of Atascosa at 5:24, Lacoste at 5:13. Von Ormy, assuming it stays on track there, would see it at 5:37 p.m. You get into town, and this is just some good soaking rain, especially west of 281. Within the downtown area, you go up to UTSA, Medical Center, Leon Valley, Helotes, Leon Springs, Fair Oaks Ranch, Bernie. And then it tapers off a little bit into Stone Oak, Timberwood Park, and Bulverde. But we still have some light shower activity around here. And I do think we'll have this for a few more hours before we start to see this taper off. I do anticipate a bit of a break from the rain and then some heavy showers in the forecast. We're going to time that out for you, let you know what day really stands out in just a bit and how much rain we've gotten so far. See you soon.
All right, thank you, Adam. A 2-year-old killed, and all San Antonio police have to go on right now is that picture of that truck.
This truck is believed to be the one that was involved in that deadly drive-by shooting yesterday.
As the number of gun-related incidents involving children increase in Bexar County, Jonathan Cotto talks with one local organization that is dealing with the real-life impact.
Marianne Sokol, executive director of the Children's Bereavement Center, says on average, they work with more than 2,500 children who have experienced the loss of a loved one each year. Just in the last 5 months, Sokol says they've hit a record high in clients needing care, putting grief on a wait list.
So many homicides, drive-by shootings. I just talked to this group of parents of murdered children 2 weeks ago, thinking there can't be more cases like this.
On Monday, a drive-by shooting on the 100 block of Future Drive on the city's north side left a 2-year-old girl dead. Lori Rocha's son was killed in a road rage incident nearly 7 years ago. She says she feels and understands the pain of everyone affected by the death of the 2-year-old little girl, especially the mothers.
There's no boundaries anymore. These people that have a killer mentality with guns, they are everywhere.
Maritza Wong, a mother and volunteer with the nonprofit organization Moms Demand Action, says until the right laws are set in place, crimes where innocent people are killed will continue to happen.
What scares me is that kids nowadays are noticing that there's no escape from it, whether it's at home, in a public place, at school. That is a scary thought, to think of what our kids might be seeing as their normal world.
Sokol says the 5 children inside the home at the time of the shooting will have to confront a long journey of trauma and healing.
We just have to do more. We don't want more children. We don't need more clients here at the bereavement center. We're having trouble keeping up.
Jonathan Cotto, KSAT 12 News.
Of course, if you have any information on the shooting on Future Drive, please call SAPD at 210-207-7635. Meantime, another tragedy. The mass shooting at that outlet mall in Allen, Texas on Sunday now appears to be the work of a year's worth of planning. New evidence is unfolding from a search of the gunman's home and his background, but that is little comfort to those recovering in the hospital or the 8 innocent lives taken. Doctors at the hospital system treating at least 6 people wounded in the Allen Outlet Mall mass shooting say 2 patients are showing some improvement. The conditions of the other victims range from good, fair to critical. Today, one survivor, Erwin Walker II, shot 3 times, is speaking out through his attorney. The aspiring businessman and father saying there are so many unanswered questions, including the gunman's motive and access to an AR-15 rifle. All victims and their loved ones, the Allen community, and people around the world deserve answers, unquote. Among the dead, 3 members of the Cho family, including a 3-year-old. Elementary school-age sisters 4th grader Daniela and 2nd grader Sofia Mendoza, described as rays of sunshine. Their mother, Ilda, still hospitalized.
We got shots fired at the young wall.
Investigators are reviewing this social media picture of the suspect, Mauricio Garcia. They are also scanning social media posts allegedly written by Garcia. Authorities say the shooter, who had been seen on video firing at shoppers at Allen Premium Outlets, may have been scouting the mall for at least a year. The profile appearing to belong to the 33-year-old, showing photos of the mall and entrances dating back to last May. Investigators say his online profile also includes racist, white supremacist posts, hatred toward women, Nazi tattoos on his body, and a fascination with mass shootings.
See a woman running in the parking lot or trying to get to the parking lot, and she's by our window, and I see her get gunned down.
An unnamed officer on the scene confronted the shooter alone and killed him. The Army says the suspect only served 3 months in the Army in 2008, but he was removed before his training was even completed because of mental health concerns.
Back here in San Antonio, an update now on a deadly hit and run from over the weekend. A man whose body was found in a ditch on Sunday has now been identified as 19-year-old Jacob Lopez. San Antonio police say his body was found Sunday morning near the I-35 access road and Kiowa Street. That's between Somerset and Palo Alto roads. Investigators say Lopez's face had blood on it, and they found a damaged bike nearby. At last check, there were no witnesses and no one has been arrested.
A little girl awakened by a car crash next to her bedroom. The driver could face DWI charges for a wild end to his ride last night. It happened around midnight on West Theo Avenue near West Malone and I-35. San Antonio police say the driver slammed into this porch, clipping the edge of the house near a bedroom. No one was hurt. However, the man was taken into custody on suspicion of DWI. A 22-year-old San Antonio man no longer on the run from police in New Braunfels in an allegedly stolen van. Investigators began looking into this around 7 in the morning when New Braunfels police got a report of a van taken from an electric company. These pictures on Facebook showing how all of it ended, but that was only after the suspect ran from police in the van, crashed into 3 other trucks, and injured a person that was in his path. You can see police units blocking the suspect away, trying to keep him away. According to New Braunfels police, the suspect also had active warrants for his arrest in San Antonio. Right now, he's being booked into the Comal County Jail on a variety of charges.
We are now less than 48 hours away from Title 42 expiring. The pandemic-era public health policy allowed the U.S. to quickly expel migrants due to COVID concerns. Without an updated immigration plan, many border cities are preparing for an influx of migrants looking to seek asylum. Even today, migrants could be seen arriving at the U.S.-Mexican border near El Paso, waiting for Title 42 to expire.
We expect to see somewhere in the neighborhood of about 10 to 15,000. We're going to open up 2 schools. We have the convention center prepared, and the Red Cross has come to assist us.
Meanwhile, El Paso City school districts are starting to increase safety precautions ahead of the expected migrant surge. A school district statement from administrators there said El Paso police officers will be sent to patrol and maintain a presence at all campuses near the border throughout the situation surrounding Title 42. Now to the White House, where talks are underway today between the president and lawmakers. President Biden meeting today with bipartisan leaders to discuss raising the debt limit.
As ABC's Justin Finch explains, though, both the White House and Republicans going into these talks have their heels dug in, reducing the odds of a deal even today.
Meeting face-to-face, President Biden and a bipartisan group of top leaders in the House and Senate gathering at the White House to discuss raising the debt limit. Before the meeting, House Speaker Kevin McCarthy saying he wants a long-term solution, not a short-term deal. The White House insisting there will be no negotiating, demanding Republicans pass a clean debt limit increase with no preconditions.
Do what you're supposed to do. It's been done 78 times since 1960, and that's what he's expecting from Congress.
Raising the debt limit allows the U.S. government to pay for debts it's already incurred, not future spending. Last month, House Republicans narrowly passed a debt ceiling bill that would slash nearly $5 trillion from the Biden administration's top spending priorities, including climate change efforts and student loan debt reduction. The House GOP also earning support from 43 Senate Republicans, now pledging to block Democratic efforts to pass a clean debt ceiling bill in that chamber. Caught in the middle, the American people and fears of a worsening U.S. economy.
A U.S. default could have wide-reaching impact, from collapsing the stock market to the loss of 8 million jobs, no Social Security checks for nearly 50 million seniors, and unpaid troops.
The Bipartisan Policy Center agreeing with the Treasury Secretary's sense of urgency, warning that with weak government revenue from tax season, there is significant uncertainty, with federal cash flows now running low. Justin Finch, ABC News at the White House.
Do you use Facebook? Maybe you have an AT&T account. There could be some cash coming your way. We'll tell you about the class action lawsuit settlements you might qualify for and how to get the cash after the break.
But first, let's take a quick look at your Tuesday evening commute with your traffic authority. Looking here at Loop 410 in McCullough, the roads are wet. No accidents to report right now, just slow going in the usual spots. We'll be right back.
I'm Myra Arthur here in the newsroom with a look at what's coming your way today on the news at 6.
Nothing but knocking out my son back.
Some intense emotions today as a murder case finally comes to a close. It has taken 5 years and 2 mistrials. The punishment for the man accused here. Plus, a huge win for the ALS community. You might know it as Lou Gehrig's disease. Awareness for it grew after that ice bucket challenge years ago. Well, at 6 o'clock, a patient tells us how a recently approved treatment is slowing her ALS progression. The May 6th election is done, but the race is not over. In District 1, Councilman Mario Bravo in a runoff against challenger Sue Kaur, who actually finished ahead of him over the weekend. Hear from both those candidates today at 6. We'll see you then.
Thank you, Myra. Who wouldn't like a few dollars thrown their way? AT&T cell phone services or a Facebook account may be all you need. 12 on your side's Marilyn Moore shows us how to claim the rewards of some class action lawsuits and how much time you have to claim them.
Hello, refund. If you used to have AT&T cell service, you may be due cash. The carrier agreed to pay $60 million to settle FTC claims that AT&T intentionally slowed data speeds, known as throttling. The deadline to file a claim is May 18th. You're eligible if you're a former customer with an unlimited plan at some point between late 2011 and June 2015. You experienced throttling and you've not already been paid. The estimated payout is $10 to $20. Used Facebook? Like this. The social media giant is divvying up a whopping $725 million to settle claims it improperly shared your data. You can claim a few bucks if you had an account between May 2007 and last December. That deadline is August 25th. And if you've cooked with Wesson Oil, listen up. ConAgra Foods settled a lawsuit claiming false advertising over the all-natural label. If you bought Wesson Oil's 2010 to mid-2017, you can file a claim. You won't get rich, but you could get $450. The deadline is May 22nd. None of these companies is admitting to doing anything wrong by settling these lawsuits. If you want to file a claim, you'll find the links on our website. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Let's take a live look outside. It has been an awful gray and gloomy and wet Tuesday.
And it still is.
That's just what we needed, though. That's a good thing.
Good soaker.
It is a good soaker. Now, at the airport, we picked up just under a quarter of an inch. So climatologically speaking, so far, not exactly ideal for the record books, but other parts of our area really cashed in. We'll take a look at the rainfall totals in a moment. First of all, storm chances this evening through 7 o'clock, still at 60% because of that last little swirl that's moving through. And again, we'll get to the radar in a moment. But then notice those rain chances drop off to only 30% overnight. Will largely be dry tonight and even a good chunk of the day tomorrow. Lakey, big old downpour yet last night, 2.9 inches. In Joanne's backyard, Leon Springs 0.66, Panna Maria 1.8, New Braunfels, Michael's backyard just under half an inch, Bernie 1.72, Mico about 1.5 inches. Good soaking rainfall, not for everybody, but if you missed out on this round, don't worry, I'm pretty confident you'll get some heavy rain in the days ahead. Speaking of rainfall, these are the estimates by the Doppler radar of the past couple of days, and notice how the east side of San Antonio kind of missed out on the action. East of 281, not a whole lot. You get into these yellows here as you get into Medina County, Bandera County, and that indicates 2 to 3 inches of rain, 4 inches possible in some of those red areas, 4.2 just south of Bandera, just north of Sabinal. Radar estimates of 4 inches. So this is good, healthy drought denting. And when you compound it and add it to what we were expecting as we get into the weekend, I think drought busting for some areas. Just what the doctor ordered, just what we needed. All right, I have to go down to Dilley. This was the really highest total that we saw. And this is why they had some flash flooding around Dilley last night and early this morning. Look at that. Radar estimates of 7 inches around Dilley. So very impressive rainfall there. And again, we'll be adding more to it as we get into especially Friday night and the weekend. You look at the latest radar and we've got one of several swirls right overhead right now. These little upper level swirls that are helping to kickstart these showers and storms. And one line of heavy rainfall that's heading into Atascosa County. It's basically moving through Devine right now, moving out of Devine, heading right into Somerset, city of Atascosa, and then almost into Charlotte at the moment. And we can time this one out for some folks along the path. There it is. It's heading pretty much due east here. And that would make it to Poteet by 5:55 p.m., Jourdanton by 5:59, and we still have some time for that to be moving eastward locally. It's just mainly this light stuff on the north side of town. Not a whole lot to it, but still some good soaking rain, especially on the aquifer recharge zone. Again, that's going to be tapering off. Our futurecast indicates that. Not that the Futurecast has been so reliable lately, so I hesitate to show it to you, but I do think it's onto something here where we could even see some partial clearing and some stars this evening, then fog and a few sprinkles to showers here and there through the night, and especially east of town tomorrow morning. By and large, I think tomorrow is going to be a dry day, and I think we'll actually have a decent amount of afternoon sunshine, so prepare for that. Next couple of days, storm chances at only 20%. mainly in the afternoons. By Friday, we boosted to 60. Saturday, we're up to 80%. Widespread, numerous showers or heavy showers and thunderstorms. We're not expecting anything severe, but with the heavy rain, flash flooding the potential. I do think this model indicates what we're expecting better than anything else. Widespread 4 to 6 inches of additional rain on top of what we've already gotten and what we're getting right now, with some isolated amounts of 7 inches or more. So this is why flash flooding is going to be the primary concern going forward. I don't think you really have to worry about hail or high winds with this. It's just going to be mostly a rain event. 68 in the morning, cloudy by the afternoon, partly cloudy, some sunshine, 85, 87, pretty much the same on Thursday. Then we get into the weekend and we boost those rain chances a bit.
A lot to watch. Thank you so much, Adam.
All right, Larry, UIW hires a new man to lead its men's basketball.
Yeah, Coach Hireman, you know what, in talking with him today, he sounds a little bit like Coach Pop when it comes to wanting some nastiness. Coming up, we're going to introduce you to the new head coach there. Plus, Lonnie Walker IV to the rescue for the purple and gold. Coming up.
I need nastiness out there. I need competitors. I need grit, because if you're going to get through this, I mean, it takes a great deal of toughness.
UIW's Coach Hireman sounds a bit like Coach Pop in big board sports. The University of the Incarnate Word introduced Shane Hireman as their new head men's basketball coach today. Hireman comes to San Antonio following a 2-year stint as associate head coach at Central Michigan University. He's a Chicago area native who played ball at Tulsa. He replaces Carson Cunningham, who went 42 and 105 overall during his 5-year tenure. Hireman is here to change the culture and turn the UIW men's basketball program around.
I don't know if there's any substitute for energy and enthusiasm. I think it gets you through a lot of things in life and establishes, you know, a culture that people want to be a part of and are proud to be a part of. And ultimately, you're trying to ask young people to sacrifice, and the only way to do that is to have something that they believe in, and that encourages them to get outside their comfort zones and connectedness. And so we're excited about it.
And coach named Jaren Jackson Sr. as one of his assistant coaches. Jackson played with the Spurs from 1997 to 2001, winning the NBA title in 1999. The defending NBA champs are on the brink of getting knocked out thanks to former Spurs guard Lonnie Walker IV. Last night in Los Angeles, the Lakers beat the Warriors 104-101, taking a 3-1 series lead in the Western Conference semifinals. The Warriors led by as many as 12 points with 4 minutes left in the third, but the Lakers rallied behind Lonnie, who scored all 15 of his points in the fourth. Walker went 6 for 9 in the fourth frame, even out shooting the Warriors' Steph Curry. Lonnie fell out of the rotation after the trade deadline and has worked his way back as a key guy for the Lakers.
The greatest feeling you can ever imagine. You know, as a kid, this is something I've been dreaming of doing, not just being a part of the playoffs, but impacting it, yet alone winning the playoffs. And you know, I'm truly proud of myself. You know, it really shows my capabilities and just my mental fortitude. I think the hardest thing of, you know, being able to play a lot and then not playing at all is sticking with it. You know, there's a lot of uncontrollable things that you can't control, and you just got to take it day to day, stack the days, and every single day you're trying to be better than who you were yesterday. So that's what I'm always trying to accomplish, is just reach my best self.
Lonnie and the Lakers can close out the Warriors tomorrow night at 9 at Golden State.
Good to see Lonnie doing well.
Indeed.
Thanks, Larry.
We'll be right back.
So we're looking at just a few isolated pop-up showers or storms next couple of days. Nothing to worry about. And really, I don't think anything to really plan around. It's going to be the exception. But by Friday afternoon and evening, get ready for some heavier rain to develop, and especially on into Saturday. Friday night throughout Saturday, rain heavy at times. Cooler weekend in the 70s with that rain.
Thanks for watching the news at 5.
World News is next. We'll see you back here at 6.